I would like to call this meeting to order at 5:01. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready, begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let it be noted that all directors are present. Are there any changes to the agenda, Mr. Bartz?
No changes to the agenda tonight.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move the agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion passes. Are there any members of the public for public comment?
There are no people on, oh, there's a John S. I'm sorry, is there a John S. that would like to make a public comment?
Okay.
Okay. Other than that, we don't have anybody else.
All right. If we could cue him up.
John, did you have a public comment? He's not responding, so I'm assuming we
Okay.
can move on.
Thank you very much. I see nobody for community reports either.
It does not appear so, no.
Okay, thank you very much. Consent item, or item 3, consent items. Does anybody have anything they would like to pull? Nope. Do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I'll motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All right. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, motion passes. Move on to item 4. Looks like there were no matters removed from the consent calendar. And apparently there are no presentations and no appointments. So we'll move on to item 6, which is continued new agenda items. Public hearing on mitigated neg deck for Reservoir 6A2. I declare the public hearing on the mitigated neg deck declaration for Reservoir 6A2 development project now open at 5:04. May we have the secretary's report, please?
Yes, at this time, I would like to report the district has received 0 written protest, objections, or comments regarding this hearing on the mitigated negative declaration for Reservoir 6A-2 development project.
Thank you. May we please have the attorney's report, Mr. Kennedy?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. Notice of public hearing was posted on the district website and in the district office on August 14th, 2024, published in the daily press on August 14th and August 21st, 2024. A copy of the mitigated negative declaration for Reservoir 6A2 development project has been available to view on the district website and in the district office. Therefore, the district has complied with all of the legal requirements for this hearing pursuant to CEQA and the guidelines that have been adopted thereunder. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. May we have the staff report, please?
Yes, the district is developing a project to construct a 1.5 million gallon reservoir in order to enhance the district's water supply reliability. The project is located at 8300 Haviland Road, Piñon Hills. Construction of this large reservoir will increase the district's water storage capability for customer use, fire suppression, and reduce the district's need to use electricity for water pumping during peak usage times. This project is estimated to be completed in 2025 through 2026 and will primarily utilize grant funding.
Thank you, Mr. Bartz. At this time, we will open the public hearing up for public comment. Is there any public comment? Sure.
Does anybody have any public comment that is online?
Hearing none, we will close the public hearing, or may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I move that we close the public hearing.
Okay. And a second?
I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, the hearing is closed at 5:06. And let's see. Move on to item 6B, discussion and possible action adopting resolution number 2024.
It should be 13, sorry.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
It should be item, or 2024-13.
2024-13, okay. Adopting the mitigating neg deck and approving the district's Reservoir 6A2 project. Mr. Bartz.
Thank you. This is for the project that we just had the public hearing on. It's a 1.5 million gallon reservoir. Staff submitted a community project funding request in the amount of $2 million to help fund Reservoir 6A-2. The district's full request was selected by Congressman Obernolte as one of the 15 projects submitted to the House Appropriations Committee. The House and Senate passed the budget package that included the district's request, which will be through a grant from HUD. Further items will be coming to the board regarding this project, such as approval of the grant, bid package, bid awards, and so on. And staff's recommendation is for the board to adopt resolution number 2024-13, adopting the mitigated negative declaration and approving the district's Reservoir 6A-2 project.
Thank you, Mr. Bartz. Are there any questions for Mr. Bartz?
I do have one for George. Are you anticipating any special requirements from HUD when we do receive this money, sort of like we're dancing around with FEMA?
Yeah, that's the question. We did receive a congratulations notice today, and some more information about the application. Caitlin here with Tom Dodson, she has some experience with HUD. We've been dealing with FEMA, and has been a challenge, something new for staff, and with others of ARPA as well, which is not as bad. But if we want to get into the details of it, we can bring up Caitlin to kind of dive into a little bit about the application process.
No, that's a good enough answer for now. Obviously, you're going to be bringing this project back, but I just wanted to touch base on that when we do get into further details.
Yeah, we're so far ahead of the game than we were on the previous funding processes that we're more in tune of what might be expected. With the CEQA, we're moving forward with the NEPA as well, with Dodson and Associates. That we're not going to be put up against the wall, any surprises that might occur with this project. It's a reservoir.
Okay.
And we've been dealing with the Civic Center project, which is a little more complicated than something that we don't really deal with. Reservoirs, pumps, wells, pipeline. Yes, we're on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Nope. Do we have a motion to adopt resolution number 2024-13 and approve the district Reservoir 6A2 project?
I will move the resolution.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion passes. 6C, discussion and possible action regarding increasing water capacity fees in accordance with previously adopted formula. Mr. Bartz.
Thank you, Mr. President. On May 10th, 2023, the board adopted Resolution 2023-13, increasing water capacity fees following the completion of a capacity fee study by IB Consulting, which is included in the board package, and a public hearing held thereon. Based on the study, the capacity fee components of the district's connection charge increased from $7,970 to $10,951 for a 1-inch meter connected to the system. This was the first increase since 2013. Pursuant to Section 1A of said resolution 2023-13, the water capacity fees were set in accordance with Table 8 of the study. Table 8 of the study states that each year the district should adjust the capacity fees by applying the annual percentage change in the engineering news record, CCI, to keep pace with inflation. The engineering news record is a construction cost index. The ENR percentage change for Los Angeles from March 2023 to March 2024 was 9.7%. Therefore, it is recommended to increase the capacity fee by 9.7%. For a 1-inch meter connected to the system, this would increase from $10,951 to $12,013. This item was meant to be brought to the board ahead of the adoption of the 2024-25 budget, and therefore in March, period is being utilized, as this will be the period utilized for the preparations for the 25-26 budget and future budgets. It is recommended that these fees go into effect immediately. Next year, the fees will be reviewed ahead of the budget and incorporated into the revenue projections with an effective date of July 1st. The budget for 2024-25 estimated 48 new connections, and 12 of these have been completed by July 1st of 2024. Staff's recommendation is for the board to increase the district's water capacity fees in accordance with the previously approved formula set forth in resolution number 2023-13 and adopted by the board on May 10th, 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Bartz. Are there any questions for Mr. Bartz?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
What's the average domestic meter size?
1 inch is primarily the size for the majority of the district.
Is it?
And any new meters that you see coming in are going to be the 1 inch. All of the new homes are required to have the fire sprinklers installed with that. So,
I thought most of them were 3/4 inch.
yeah,
but I guess-
most are 1 inch.
Okay, thank you.
In last meeting, we had a couple gentlemen in here talking about this, and you were able to speak with them during the week?
Yes, we've talked to
Past
them, and
couple
staff
weeks?
has spoke to them several times since that last meeting and the engineering committee meeting also, right up to today.
Thank you. Any other questions? Deputy Director Phillips.
Has this been figured into the payment plan for people that wish to get meters that don't currently have them?
Yes, we're currently working on policy for that, and this will be incorporated into that.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions?
That was my question.
That was your question. Okay, we got that one covered. Is there a motion on this item?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second.
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, the motion passes. And we'll move on to update on district projects, Mr. Bartz.
Yes, I do not have anything to add to this. George or staff may have some additions that they would like.
Civic Center, I guess I can start with the Civic Center. We're about a week away from submittal, I believe Tuesday. Engineers needed additional time to kind of get those civil plans prepared in conjunction with the Phelan Park enhancement project, as well as the grading on the 14-acre site. There were some minor adjustments that had to do with an easement. So that should be in with the county on Tuesday after the holidays. There's really not much to kind of report on the Civic Center. I just mentioned the Phelan Park enhancement. That's the pickleball court and the community garden. Those plans are also set to be complete by next week, also submitted to the county for plan check, and that'll be their first review. We kind of are going through the process with the CEQA with the county on that project, so we had to go back a couple of decades to pull that environmental study. We have Liborn working with us on that particular project for the Phelan Park enhancement. With that, I have nothing more to report, really. One more thing, the Joshua Tree, the Conservation Protection Act. That was submitted to Fish and Wildlife for review. We are waiting for the NOD on that project so they can finalize the review. Then we'll have their what that's going to look like for the district. And I think at that point, we'll meet with them to kind of discuss the protection of the Joshua trees and see if we can pull a variance on that project. So we're just anticipating the completion of that.
And how many total Joshua trees did we end up having to mitigate for?
1,900. Yeah, it grew from 162. Just about 170 of those were dead. So subtract the 1,900 or the 172 from the 1,900. Those are the ones they consider live.
That's crazy.
2 inches is the, yes, that's considered a Joshua tree. We're not the only ones.
I know, yeah, absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
surprised by all this. So there's some discussion on a legislative level on what to do with that. So more to come.
Any other questions for Mr. Cardenas?
I do have one for Sean. In recent fires we've had, just a brief overview of how our system operated.
Sure. So we've had 3 in the last 2 weeks. We had one north of Duncan a week and a half ago. 3 nights ago we had one off Sonora, and then last night we had the one Snowline in Johnson. The system performed wonderfully. Again, having well 15 kind of bifurcate the system to where we can really split and bring that water up. I know it kind of sounds weird, but bring it up south, up onto the mountain, really helped. We met with the first responders last night and directed them to fire hydrants so that they could load out quicker. But again, everything held up wonderfully. Thanks to SCADA, the system, and our staff for being there supporting the first responders.
Awesome, thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay. Any other questions for staff?
No.
No? Well, thank you guys for the report. We will move on to item 7, committee reports, engineering committee.
Engineering committee met and went through, reviewed system and update on the new well 15 and the tank 6A2, as was in the packet today. Also had a lively discussion with some of the public, and that was good to have. So I don't know if there was anything else, Rebecca.
No, that covers it.
Finance committee, I don't think we met in a while.
We have not met.
Legislative committee.
Yeah, we haven't met, but we're scheduled to meet, I believe, in September.
I think so.
Yeah.
Parks, recreation, and street lighting.
The meeting minutes are in the packet, and we haven't met again since the last time we reported.
Waste and recycling.
We met last week, went over the current numbers. The numbers continue to improve. People are gradually learning how to separate. It's getting a little bit better, and gradually I think will.
We're going to have a couple contests, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll have some contests rolling out for people that do to enter for a potential of a $100 gift card for proper sorting.
All right, we'll move on to item 8, staff and general managers report. Are there any staff reports but beyond what is on the agenda?
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't have anything to report beyond what's in the package. Staff might. I did receive a request just now from Mr. Attorney Miliband asking if we could have the closed session after item number 8. He's got another meeting that he's got to attend to tonight. So if we don't mind making a small change to the agenda,
I'm fine with that as long as everybody else
we
is
could just do
okay
the
with
closed
that.
session. I don't think the closed session is going to be very long,
Okay.
but I don't have anything more unless staff does.
Good. With that, we will recess to closed session at 5:20.